Over the past 2 years, Russia has significantly stepped up its subversive activities in an attempt to pressure Europe and the United States to curtail support for Ukraine, the New York Times reported, citing a report by the Center for Strategic and International Studies. Moscow's covert campaign targets undersea cables, warehouses and railways in Europe, with Russian attacks quadrupling from 2022 to 2023 and then tripling from 2023 to 2024. This is an important tool that the Russians are using in coordination with their conventional war in Ukraine. It makes very little sense for Russia to move troops across the border into the Baltics or Finland right now. But their retaliation against these countries that provide weapons is to go after their companies, assassinate their officials, and threaten critical infrastructure, said Seth G. Jones, the study's author and former US military advisor. A Western official told reporters that Russia had suspended its sabotage in recent weeks amid Washington's efforts to end the war in Ukraine. At the same time, experts believe that the campaign against targets in Europe could continue as soon as European governments adopt new plans to support Ukraine with weapons or send peacekeepers. Countries that support Ukraine have been given to understand that Russia can impose costs and increase them. There is little evidence that the Russian campaign was effective last year. But with the United States apparently backing away from its support for Ukraine and European allies, the question will be whether Russia's covert campaign can be more successful in pushing countries to reconsider their support, publication states. Recall in February 2025, it became known that sabotage against warships, infiltration of naval bases, and attempts to approach active military personnel were being recorded in Germany. At that time, the commander of the country's navy, Jan Christian Kark, said that the growing threat from Russia was more urgent at the beginning of 2025 than 2 years ago. In addition, in the Baltic Sea off the coast of the Swedish island of Gotland, an underwater cable was torn once again. The Finnish company that owns the cable, Cinia, noted that this is the third time that an underwater cable has been damaged in such a short period.
Hundreds of residents in Russia's Chelyabinsk and Bashkortostan regions were evacuated as melting ice caused river levels to rise and flood villages. Rescuers and local dwellers waded through floodwaters and used boats to evacuate. According to Associated Press, the town of Asha in the Chelyabinsk region partly flooded with more than 200 houses and 300 household plots submerged. 170 people were evacuated from their homes. In the neighboring region of Bashkortostan, more than 120 people were evacuated. About 80 people, including 17 children, have been evacuated to a temporary accommodation center, which has been opened at a school, said Eduard Idrisov, the acting head of the Russian Emergency Ministry in the Bashkortostan region. The residents are provided help, including door-to-door checking and briefings, he added. Experts say the unusually warm weather has caused the high water season to start 2 weeks earlier. Last year, heavy floods in the neighboring Orenburg region left more than 12,000 residential buildings and more than 19,000 households submerged, with thousands of residents evacuated.
Введен режим чрезвычайной ситуации. Возможно затопление придомовых территорий.
Порядка 80 человек, из них 17 детей, эвакуировано в созданной на базе школы ПВР. Жителям оказываются необходимые мероприятия по оказанию помощи, подворовые обходы,
Вот и пошел.
Мы здесь стоим у Козинского моста, лед тронулся. Пошло. Отходит со дворов, смотри. С дороги вода уходит.
Автодорога Зуяк-Габдюкова. Дорога закрыта.
Село Габдюково. У нас очищается река Инзер от льда. Вот крупные глыбы прямо.
В результате обильного снеготаяния и выпадения большого количества осадков в виде дождя произошло подъем в реке Гумбейка, соответственно, в результате чего произошло подтопление 36 приусадебных участков в данном поселке.